Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on the Spanish tragedy, and today we get to hear from the Duke of Castile in what some versions call Act 3, Scene 14, others call Act 3, Scene 15, depends on whether 12a was a scene or not. But the Duke of Castile, in any case, is the father to both Lorenzo and Bellimperia, and he had helped broker the deal, or agreed with the deal that the King of Spain brokered with the Viceroy of Portugal, that Bellimperia and Balthazar should be married because this would unite the kingdoms. And the Viceroy said that he was going to give his crown to Balthazar, so that Balthazar would become like King of Portugal and Bellimperia would then be a queen. And everybody was like, this is all great, except Bellimperia, who's not totally on board with this whole thing. But at the beginning of this particular scene, we had the Portuguese contingent show up, and the Spanish contingent welcomed them, and the Viceroy of Portugal said, I'm absolutely here just to see this wedding, and isn't it a happy thing? And also, here's my crown given to my son. Like, this is such an emotional day. So he gets sort of escorted off to go be emotional somewhere else. And the Duke of Castile stays behind with Lorenzo, and he's like, there's rumors going around that you've done something really bad to Hieronymo. And Lorenzo's like, what? Me? What would I have done to Hieronymo? And the Duke of Castile says, I tell thee, son, myself have heard it said, when, to my sorrow, I have been ashamed to answer for thee, though thou art my son. Lorenzo, knowst thou not the common love and kindness that Hieronymo hath won by his deserts within the court of Spain? Or seest thou not the king my brother's care in his behalf, and to procure his health? Lorenzo, shouldst thou thwart his passions, and he exclaim against thee to the king, what honor were it in this assembly, or what a scandal were it among the kings, to hear Hieronymo exclaim on thee? Tell me, and look thou, tell me truly, too. Whence grows the ground of this report in court? So what it boils down to is the Duke of Castile is saying, I've also heard these rumors that you did something bad to Hieronymo, and don't you know who Hieronymo is and what a bad idea it is to get on his bad side? So it's time to fess up. What did you do? So he's laying down the law with his kid, basically, is what he's doing here. And Lorenzo, who we, the audience, know was involved in the murder of Horatio, so yes, he did wrong Hieronymo, but Lorenzo's like, I didn't do anything. I don't know what he's all upset about. I mean, he did just lose his son, so maybe he's just, like crazy with grief and all that. So he manages to get the Duke of Castile sort of off of the warpath, so to speak, in terms of that. And then other people start coming back into the space, and Balthazar and Bellimperia are there, and Bellimperia is looking a little bit down in the dumps, because remember, she's not totally on board with this whole marrying Balthazar thing. And Balthazar is like, please, can't you be happy? We're about to get married. And she's like, yeah, it's a little soon. A little soon for that. But then the Duke of Castile turns to greet Balthazar. Hey, how you doing? So glad that you're here and that this is going to happen. And Hieronymo then also comes in looking for the Duke and or the King, comes in, and the Duke of Castile tries to get in the middle of it and be like, Hieronymo, whatever it was that Lorenzo did, he didn't mean it. We're going to have a wedding now. Like, let's just let all of it go. And Hieronymo doesn't really buy into that. Like, he draws his sword at one point, like he's going to have a duel and get into it and settle things right here and now. But they do manage to talk him down from that, and eventually Hieronymo actually goes so far as to embrace Lorenzo and say, it's okay, like we're all friends now. And everybody's like, great, we're all friends, let's go have a wedding. And everybody leaves except for Hieronymo, who's like, yeah, we're not friends. Hold your enemies even closer than you'd hold your friends, is sort of his last little couplet. It's in Italian, is the last little couplet from the scene. And that's the end of that particular scene. So we have some truces. Lorenzo's still pretending that he's a good guy. This wedding is still supposed to happen, even though Bellimperia doesn't want it to. And actually, if you remember all the way back at the beginning of the play, when we were checking in with the ghost of Don Andrea and the personification of revenge, there was a hint that Bellimperia was the one who was going to get revenge on Balthazar on behalf of Don Andrea. So there's still plenty left to go. And yeah, we'll only figure out what happens if you keep on coming back for more. So I'll see you tomorrow. Mwah.